Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Twersky, and here with me now is Dr. Esther Hess. Welcome, Dr. Hess.
My pleasure. How are you?
Good. Thank you for doing this. We're really excited to be having you at our upcoming conference in January. And you're going to be giving a workshop entitled DIR Floor Time, a Developmental Relational Therapy Model for ASD and Sensory Processing Challenges, which sounds like we're going to get a lot of information, a lot of understanding. More and more people are working with this population. And I think you're going to tell us a little bit about why that's so important and what we're going to hear about and be able to come away with from having attended your workshop. So tell me about your work and what we're going to hear about.
Well, I'm a developmental psychologist from Los Angeles, California. And I'd like to say I have the best job in the whole wide world because I get to play with kids and toys all day long, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my specialty is autism spectrum disorder. And the reason why we're doing this, Lisa, is because the latest statistic from the Center for Disease Control in March of 2022 indicated that 1 in every 44th child born in the United States by the time they're 8 years old are going to be diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. Wow. So we're talking about hundreds of thousands of kids. And so we have to figure out, what to do with them. And I give this lecture now nationally and internationally. And I have my students ask me, Dr. Hess, can we just get down on the floor and play? And the answer is, well, yes, eventually. Eventually we get to do floor time. But we first have to do DIR. We have to have a map to know what we're going to be doing. So at the conference, we're going to be going ahead and learning all about the D, what we expect all children to come away with developmentally. And then most importantly, we're going to have an interactive experience to understand the I, the underlying individual neurological differences. What makes a child tick? Why are they acting a certain way? Then how to use our relationship, because we're the Pied Pipers, right? We're going to go ahead and we're going to learn how to use our relationship and the child's relationship to the world, whether the child is hyperreactive or hyporeactive, and go ahead and potentially woo this child into an interactive back and forth reciprocal relationship.
Wow.
But one more thing that we're going to learn.
Yeah.
I am a big believer, and I've coined a phrase, I have yet to see the child who lives alone. So part of our workshop is also going to see how having an autistic child in your midst impacts the entire family. So we're going to learn about how to support the family, everybody from siblings to parents to grandparents, and what's the impact of having a special needs child on the entire community.
Right. Is it important? This is, it sounds like a fabulous workshop and that people are really going to be able to get a whole lot of information in a short amount of time in terms of how to do good work. As a side, just out of curiosity, is it important to be interfacing with the family when you're working in a school, let's say, and you might not have access? Does that impact the work that you can do with the child?
I think there's a lot of ways. This is going to be a very interactive workshop. So what's going to happen is we're going to take a lot of Q&A from the audience, and we're going to deal individually with those questions. For example, how I best do, this is going to be a PowerPoint presentation. So how I best do my sessions, for example, is I'm going to make clinical points, and then I'm going to show you actual setting footage from my video footage from my practice.
Wow.
To emphasize how this method is done. If we don't have access to parents, it's harder, certainly, but I think there's ways for us to work together with the school system, with the administration, and ultimately, DIR floor time is a lifestyle. So it is a better understanding to have families who are involved in general, dealing when they have a special needs child. And I'll tell you the truth, I've been able to work with school districts to have me have access to parents, because ultimately I share with parents as well as teachers, I'm going to make your life easier. And so I will share the tricks of the trade, as it were, and the techniques behind how to go ahead and get the best out of the school system, just general how to get aid from different resources for our families. So I've been doing this for a long time, and I will be happy to. I'm looking forward to having an interface with the audience as they share their individual concerns, and we'll make this a group discussion, because I think when it comes right down to mentorship, I think we're all a group of mentors, and this is a critically important subject that we need to address.
Yeah. Well, you are just a font of information for all of the people working with this population. So we're so lucky to have you coming and joining us. And beyond the workshop, you're going to be around for people to grab, and I'm sure they will be doing that. So I really appreciate your
Absolutely.
participation.
I'm very much looking forward to spending Shabbos with this wonderful group, and especially for you to come to my workshop on January 6th, because basically I'm looking forward to us playing together.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, and looking forward to seeing you and all of you out there at